For some strange reason, I guess I'm not being recorded. Ah, there you are. It's very complicated. Alright. Well, okay. Let's put it like this. Alright. So, I don't know how's this working, but I had a lot of problems with YouTube and what else? With YouTube, and I actually recorded a few videos, tried to upload, but as the file was like a few gigabytes, I couldn't upload it to YouTube because they said it's like it's oversized. So basically, they they just, how can I say? They just didn't allow me. So I'm here trying to do a live, which is, I mean, way much easier, and I don't have to edit anything. So basically, I even forgot where I was. On 2019, I think was the last time I did a recording or something. Actually, the last time I recorded, I think I was at work, tried to upload, but didn't work. If I'm not wrong, the video it's on Google Drive saved there, Google Photos or something. Then it's there. One day I'll upload it and just give it the right context and date and whatever. The other thing is, uh, in the end of 2019, because of the pandemic, and also I fell ill a few times, and I used to work with my father. We had a consulting company together, so I was falling ill quite often. What happened was, one day I just felt really bad, and he took me to the hospital, and he just said, you're falling ill like so often. It really doesn't work. You shouldn't work with me anymore. And I was like on a bed in the hospital taking some medication in my veins, and I was listening to this from my own father, knowing that I took care of my mom with dementia, and I was, how can I say in English? Well, in Portuguese, I would say something like I'll have to unfold myself in like two, three persons at the same time to do multiple things, like a kind of multitasking. I would work. During the time I was working, I would take like, I don't know, a few minutes break, give a call to a doctor or something to make an appointment for my mother to go to the doctor and do her like semestral, like every 6 months, right? Yeah. Checkup, health checkup, and this kind of stuff. It was tough. It was a pain in the ass. And my grandmother, my mother's mother, she she was a crazy fucking old bitch. She kind of evicted us from her apartment because what happened was, I lived in a place. It was like 100 kilometers from my mom, from where my mom lives. Then I used to go there like only on the weekends, or like Friday after work. I would come back like a Monday morning. Then I'll go straight to work. And there was a day or something that I was there during the week. Something happened. I don't remember um, the chronology exactly. The timeline is kind of blurred. Um, so I just was kind of pissed because my grandma has a retirement fund or pension, or She just got some retirement money from her father, my great grandfather. He was from the army, and Brazil has this crazy law that actually benefit her actually. That people who went to the Paraguay and Brazil War or Second World War, no, I think it was from the Paraguay and Brazilian War. Since then, when a military men die, their spouse and their daughters, just the daughter, they would receive a retirement pension fund money. So let's say my great grandfather was a army general. He died in 1994. Since 1994, my grandma shared that money, which is quite reasonable, with her sister, my grand aunt. Nowadays, because my grand aunt is dead, so she receives 100% of that money, which translates to something like 30,000 a month, around that, plus her own like money from her retirement. And for some reason, I don't know why, she expends all that money. And I was looking at that, people going there to collect the debt. They were like, hey, okay, you owe us some money and you should pay us, I don't know, like 2,000 a month or something. But she has so many debts with the bank, with like jewelry shoppers, and like I don't know, like clothes. Like even though she's on a wheelchair, she just gives a call and hey, could you come here, bring some models or whatever. Like I want to check it out. I wanna gift someone, or I wanna buy it for myself, whatever. She's an accumulator. To put it simple, she's an accumulator. Then what happens is uh, I tried to investigate that. I went to a few shops. Then like somehow she found out. One of the shop owners called a friend of my grandma's, which is also another old bitch, which never liked me and my mom. She was like doing some gossiping and saying that my mom was pretending to be with dementia. And I'm like, what? How can you say that? You just look at my mom, you see like how her 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 mental functions are not the same as before. She's not as smart, as like fast to think and to do things. She has a mental confusion. It's clear if you meet my mom, it's clear. Especially for that lady, it's very like disturbing because for some reason, um, I don't know why she was saying that, because she knows my mom for a few decades. She's been my grandma's friend for a few decades, and she's always talking shit about my mom to my grandma, and my grandma never defends my mom, her only kid. My mom is only child. So it's really, anyway, to put it simple, my grandma just evicted us from her apartment. She had two apartments. She was living on the 8th floor and we were on the 10th floor. So my mom would sleep every day there, and I would go there during the weekends or any day that I was needed. I had cameras there, so I would check her anytime. What I know is like things got really bad. My grandma didn't like it for me to investigate her debts, and she evicted us. And it was horrible, man, because the building, the entrance of the building, the people who were like who worked there on the entrance. I don't know how to say that in English. The clerk, maybe. They let me see who sent me a message. Oh man, 再借书，代课已就斗两周。哦，just a minute。那你还在准备那个课程吗？那么晚，你知道你应该马上睡觉吧，对吧？So what happened was that she invaded the apartment that we lived, me and my mom, while we were not there, because my mom was spending like a few weeks with her aunt from her father's side. So my grand aunt, like a sibling of my grandfather. So my mom was spending a few weeks there, maybe a month or so, something like that, like a month. And we were not talking to my grandma anymore because my grandma was always really toxic. And the thing is, God damn it, she evicted us. I know I'm repeating. I'm being very. I should make a script next time. So anyway, we had to move out. We found a place, but the cheapest place and the nearest place in downtown, they had steps. So we would have to climb the steps, like to go to get in and get out of the place. It was very inconvenient. And lately, my mom functions and perception and vision, sight, they're kind of having a decline. So she sometimes would climb a few steps and stop and look around and oh, okay, need to continue climbing. And she would like get back together, put herself back together, like after a few seconds of losing herself. And one day she almost like tumbled upon a step, and I felt okay, that's really dangerous. If she falls from the from the steps, that would be like horrible, like very dangerous. So I decided to leave that place and move to like a flat house, like a single floor, like uh, a ground level house with a small garden in front of the house. And we also have some relatives on the same street, just a block away. And the blocks here are pretty small, so like I don't know, like 3 minutes walk, we're there at her place. Um, uh, Basically that's it. I mean, I'm not working with my father anymore. So since February of 2020, I'm not working with my father anymore. I'm jobless, and I'm taking care of my mom full time because I cannot put anyone here because of the pandemic, and also because like we're trying to save money. On November 22nd, we went to Mato Grosso province, which is right in the middle of South America. We used to have two rents there. My mom used to rent a place in the countryside in a small town, and also in the capital city of the state. So I went there with her. We visited some relatives, and also we returned the rents to the owners, to the landlords. We finished the rent. Quit? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? I need to upgrade my vocabulary. Definitely. Anyway, so that's it. That's what happened. So we moved a month or so ago, like a month and 2 weeks, a month and a week, to this new place. We had a lot of expenses to install the fan that's like on the ceiling. We had 4 fans to install. Had to pay a lot of stuff. I paid six months of rent in advance to have a discount. I just burned almost all, not almost, like I burned all my reserve, all my cash, all my savings. Like I just burned it out. So right now I'm very low on cash, and I'm kind of like nervous with a lot of things happening. And I don't have a car, but the car that I use, it's from a grand uncle of my mom's father sibling of my grandfather. And he was like borrowing lending the car, and the car is like here for 8 years. The car is brand new. He barely used. He lives in the north of Brazil, the northeast of Brazil. Then he would come here like I don't know, like 3 4 months each year. So that's when he would use the car. So for the last 9 or 10 years, that was the deal. And I said, hey, uncle, I don't have the money, but I need a car to take my mom to the doctor, to go to the supermarket, especially now that we live in a neighborhood that's a little bit like off uh, downtown and supermarket. And he was like, yeah, 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 that's okay. Then suddenly, this year, 2021, as soon as the year turned, he just called me and said, "Hey, did you pay all the car taxes and like the fees, etc.?" And I'm like, "The insurance," and I'm like, "No." Like, "Yeah, you have to pay," and I'm like, "Yeah, but that's not the deal that we had." Like the deal that we had was, I'm gonna use the car, take care of the car, do the maintenance, as I use the car myself, like very, very, very often. I mean, to short distances, like take my mom to the gym, to the personal trainer to do her exercise, go to the supermarket, or go buy her medicine on the drugstore, like very short distances. But I use like every week, like I don't know, 3, 4, 5 times maybe. Sometimes during the weekend, I take my mom to the farms nearby to see the nature and the hills and mountains. That's it. I don't use the car that much, but I use often. Um, so anyway, my uncle asked for me to pay everything, and I'm like, I don't have money. Like I'm really short on cash. Like, and he's like, oh my god, yeah. What we're gonna do? Because if someone steals the car, like, we need a new car. And I'm like, yeah. Then like time passes by. A few weeks later, his sister, my grand aunt, the one that sometimes my mom spends times on her house, she lives like 40 minutes from here in another city. She said, okay, that's not nice. Your uncle has so much money on the bank, probably 1 million saved on the bank, in the bank, that it just doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, I know that he like saves money. I didn't know it was like so much, like 1 million. But and she said, yeah, yeah, I know because I used to take care of his money. And I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, yeah. Like he does have that much money. And I'm like, well, whatever. I don't want to get like upset or anything because there's nothing I can do. He's just like that. Like if he wants to help, he helps by asking someone else to do what he should do or he was proposing to do himself. But actually, he's just like outsourcing. Uh, oh, this way, outsourcing to someone else. It's really annoying. He was like, "Oh, you need help? Okay, don't worry, I'll help you." Then he calls like a third person, and hey, could you call Matthias and you just go help him? It's always like that. It's annoying, and I'm really tired. So the car, my uncle was involved in a small accident. Not exactly an accident. Like the place he used to park the car, it's like an old hotel. The entrance is like very narrow, and he's old. He's like 86 years old, and his sight is not good. He doesn't also hear very very well. Anyway, I know that someday he just scratched all the passenger side of the car. It's like it's damaged. It doesn't look good. And I said, as soon as I have money, I'll take care of that. Don't worry. But since I got the car, I don't have the money. Actually, on December 2020, I would have the money, but he asked me like so many times to go visit him because he's old. He has like a fibrosis on his lung. Like one lung is already like not functioning, so he just have like a 70% capacity of the second lung. So he's always like playing the victim, like I'm going to die. I miss you guys so much. Please just come here, stay as long as you can. But he's annoying. But he insisted so much, and my mom likes him so much that I was like, okay, I'll just waste my money, like spend the money that I was saving to go there during the New Year's and Christmas to spend some weeks with them. So we spent like 2 weeks and something with this uncle. Then when I came back, he asked me to pay all those taxes, and I'm like, I don't have the money. Like I spent the money going there to visit you. Yeah. Anyway, that's the update. Uh, the other thing is, I kind of all these months with so many things happening, the pandemic, taking care of my mom, have to rent a new place, uh, have to pack everything and move to this new place. Then we spent months trying to put everything like on the right place, but I felt emotionally so depleted, so like burned out. That some months I actually didn't do anything. I was just take care of my mom, like clean the house, cook, do the laundry, take her to her activities, to the personal trainer, to for a walk, to visit some relatives, blah blah blah. And I was like so exhausted because like for now, right here, today, I just had a little fight with my mom. I said, "Hey, I need to work. My work is online. You know, I'm studying to do online marketing, and that's what I do. I need to spend time studying and planning my strategy and what kind of product I'm gonna sell. And I need time. I need to focus, especially me that I have like attention disorder. So it's like it's really hard. So I need to be quiet here. Don't bother me. Could you just go watch your soap opera?" She just got really pissed. I mean, what can I do? I I tried to say, "Hey, I need some time here," and like she keeps coming and calling me, "Hey, the TV's not working. Uh, I don't know. We don't have signal here. Like the internet is off." Like, God damn it. So today seems like I had a time because we have a helper here, a cleaner. I don't know, maid is not a good word. We have a helper here to clean and organize the house. She's during the last month she came like 2 weeks she came 2 times, and on another 2 weeks she came like 3 times. So she actually did the hard work. I was actually helping her to organize and clean, and she obviously was asking me, "Hey, are you gonna keep this? Like a send it to the recycling or trash or whatever, like what's the destination of these things?" And I would help her, and we washed a lot of stuff. I found so many clothes that my mom has with the tag, price tag, she didn't even use. So like she bought brand new and never used. Like 300, like a pants, some pants for like 300, some blouse for like 200. And I'm like, fuck. That's why we never had money at home. That's why we're always on debt. And she's like, "That's my money. I don't care." And I'm like, "I care because legally I'm the responsible now. Like you're not legally like responsible for yourself anymore. I am. So I'm fucking scared. I mean, that's so much money. That's why for the last 20 years we never had money. Like she's always like an accumulator like her mother, my grandma. And that's why my mom was in so much debt. I mean, not as much as my grandma, but like she was in a lot of debt. And like, oh god. Anyway, so I just I'm just here coming up and sharing all these things. I kind of learn how to let go. The Mongolian girl 70. I went through a lot of thinking and pondering, as the channel name is. And I was really sad that I couldn't post anything. The computer was not working well, so I took my mom's computer. She's my mom stopped reading. She cannot read anymore. She's blaming her sight, but actually it's like her disease, right? She has dementia, so she gets really confused. So her dementia is like a dementia with aphasia. So she has really hard time with communication, like reading, writing, and a conversation. Like she doesn't know how to say some words. For example, like this is a container. I don't know how to say in English, but like this is a container with melatonin, melatonin, and this is a medicine to sleep, right? And hormone. and she wouldn't be able to say that. Like she would say something like, "Oh, this sleep thing that you do, not that you take." Like so, communication is complicated. Then then yeah, that's it. I don't know why I was saying that. Anyway, that's it. I felt like so many things. It was so complicated. I was so overwhelmed with all these things happening, and I'm the only one alone doing everything, like taking care of the house, cooking, doing the laundry, um, giving her some comforting, checking if the TV is working, changing the channels on TV, and I just do simply everything. It's really exhausting. But she's my mom, right? And I have no idea how is it to have a child, but it feels when I'm not thinking to myself, I'm like, seems like I have a big child. Um, that's life, right? You're a child, then you grow up, you're kind of like independent, then you get old. If you get a disease like dementia, like my mom, you just get dependent again on a different way, but sometimes very similar to a child. Anyway, that's it. If you guys have any doubts, any questions, feel free to ask. Yes, I'm talking to someone from China again. I like China, and she's a good girl. She's an artist. She's a painter, like traditional Chinese painting. She earns her living through teaching those skills to children in a city near Beijing. She's pretty beautiful, and that's it. So for now, I think that's all I have. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'll try to be back on this format, like doing lives, so I don't have to edit anything.